Everybody, welcome to TacTalk Live, the live hangout giving honest, unbiased opinions on guns and gear from an average civilian perspective. I'm your host, Eric Todd. With me today, got Adam Hackney back and Raymond back. Say hi, fellas.
Hi, fellas.
What it do?
Hi, fellas. All right, today's episode, we're going to talk about S.H.T.F, mainly S.H.T.F guns, and a little bit of scenario talk, and then we're going to talk about ammo stockpiling. So let's get into it. First, I guess we'll talk about the guns. Let's get into 5. I got it broke down to categories of handguns, shotguns, high-powered rifle, battle rifle, 22 long rifle. So give your guys's. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a brand, like exact, but maybe like a caliber handgun, a caliber for each one besides a 22 long rifle, obviously. Or if you got an actual brand, throw it out there. What you think are your 5 gotta have S.H.T.F guns? Whoever wants to start it off. Adam, you're on my left. You can start it off.
Start from left to right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess for me, so you said, well, I'll just name the 5 guns that I don't remember your category, so I would say the 5 guns that I would have. So I would have my AR-15, chambered in 5.56, my Glock 19 9mm. Those would be like my main 2 weapons. 12 gauge shotgun, so I'd have my Remington 870. I would bring my Ruger 1022 takedown, so I would have a 22 caliber rifle. And then for number 5, I don't have any high-powered
rifles
right now, so. Yeah. I think that my last one would be either a second pistol, like a in 45 or 357 Magnum, like one of those, or a pistol in 22 to go with the 22 rifle.
Yeah, you know.
It's kind of off the top of my head. Those would be like my 5.
Nice. All right, Ray, what do you think?
Well, I just made a list as Adam was doing his real quick, so I got them all down here. I want to go for Adam with the Glock, either 17 or 19. Glocks, they're just stupid dependable, never fail you. Definitely 9mm, just because he's super easy to get, cheaper. Then going away from the Glock, go with the revolver. I got written down a Ruger 44 Magnum, actually. The 44 Magnum, you can take down just about any game animal that's in the United States. I went with Ruger instead of Smith & Wesson. I love Smith & Wesson. They're beautiful guns. But Ruger, you just cannot deny that they're built stronger.
And they're cheaper?
Than Smith & Wesson. And they are a little bit cheaper and easier to find from Smith, too. Then I would go with an AR-15. I'm not going to say any kind of brand just because there's a lot of good ones out there. I choose BCM. That's what I run right now.
I'm not going to say any kind of brands. But BCM.
But BCM. But any kind of AR-15, it's a good. It goes right on with the Glock. Is a good defensive rifle. Then I'm not going to say any kind of high-powered rifle. I just don't think there's as much need for one for shit hits the fan type deal. But I'll go for 12 gauge shotgun as well. But I'm going to say if the break action, something either single barrel, over under, or side by side, just because with the 12 gauge, you can also get reducer tubes that go in the breech, so you can get 20 gauge, 410, 28.
Right.
So it just make a lot more versatile of a gun.
Stuff too, like 9mm, 223.
Right.
Long rifle. We got all kinds of them.
Right.
Yeah, just makes it easier for you if you know, you run out of 12 gauge, and you can't just go run to the store and buy more 12 gauge, but you can barter with somebody for maybe some 20 gauge or something else. You're not stuck without a shotgun.
Yeah.
And then a 10-22 or any other 22 caliber rifle. Just do some small game hunting, or even just to keep up with your shooting skills. Just because the ammo right now is so cheap, so you can stockpile it. Buy cheap and stack it deep, right?
That's right.
There you go.
When you can find it.
Yeah.
Well, you can find it all now except for 22.
That's what I meant. The 22.
And 22 is really not even that bad anymore to find.
You just gotta look. It's it's still there, but you just gotta look. So you guys are thinking adding in a revolver instead of a high-power rifle. I like that.
Yeah, well, especially for me, since I just got that new, pretty revolver. So.
You don't even got it next to you, do you?
Yeah. So update for anybody that watched the last couple episodes. I was wanting to sell my second BCM 14.5. Traded it for a Ruger GP100 4-inch model and 357 Magnum and $500. $550 actually, but I'm not going to get into it. But I only count 500 of the money. So it's gone.
Nice. Yeah.
Let me show you that, Ray. Since you're not
get that
really
out.
I'm not really a fan of them. Let me show you what this looks like.
I'm kind of jealous of it. You were wanting the 3-inch, weren't you, Ray?
Yeah.
4-inch is pretty nice too.
But I'm actually been looking at the Ruger Alaskan, the 44 Magnum 2.5-inch.
Feeling the 44 now?
I'm kind of feeling the 44 Magnum, dude. I am. I still want that 3-inch GP100 though.
Yeah. How much is the 44 gonna run you?
$7.
That's not too bad.
$200 more than a GP.
All right, Ray. I know you're not really a fan, but there you go.
How much you want for that one, Adam? I'll give you cash in hand right now.
Cash in hand.
I can be at your house in 5 minutes.
He also gave me some like old school ammo, man. Like I think it was built in it was made in like 72 is the date on the box.
I'll even take that ammo off your hands for you.
You'll even take the ammo off my hands as well. So, this was one of those. So I'm going to add this one in my list. So my solid 5 guns list would be Glock and 9mm or 40, 45, as long as it's a duty caliber, AR-15, 12 gauge shotgun. I'm going to go with the pump action. That'll be the 870. 10-22 takedown model specifically, or any other 22 rifle, and then I'm going to go with the 357 Magnum revolver as my 5th. So
I can dig it. Mine's not much different than you guys.
Well, let's hear yours.
I don't have a locked-in 5th. They're identical to yours, minus the 5th one. I don't have a locked-in 5th right now, but I'd like to have a high-powered rifle, something like a 308 or something, but I don't currently. So, but it would be nice.
This was kind of like my wild card. So since I don't have a high power, that's kind of like my wild card there. So
yeah, I like it. Yeah, I don't have a mine's. Yeah, I got nothing right now for the 5th one. But I would, if I had a 308, that's what it would be. Like
bolt action or semi-auto, like AR-10 stock?
I'd say bolt action.
Bolt action.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Or, I guess, yeah, I don't know. That'd probably be my 5th.
Yeah.
When I get
on
one.
the side note, since this is right in front of me, I took these grips off. This actually is wood. It's not like...
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice.
We were thinking that it was probably like polymer or something, just made to look like
wood. Like a fake wood, yeah.
Yeah, but it really is wood.
You think the whole thing's worth $450 to you, Adam?
No, I think it's worth $450. It's worth $450.
You want $450 right now for it?
Not right now. I haven't even shot the daggone thing yet, man.
You don't need to. You know what? I'll buy it from you. I'll buy it from you, and then I'll let you shoot it.
Then you'll let me shoot it? I don't know, man.
You buy that 44, Ray, and I'm gonna buy that. I'll buy his 357. You buy that 44.
All right.
You back
good.
up.
So you gonna say your list or not, Derek?
We're gonna Rochambeau for it. They're the same. It would be my AR-15 in 5.56. It would be my Ruger 10/22 takedown, Glock 19, Remington 870, and then, like I said, for the fifth one, I'd like to get like a 308 or something. But obviously,
So
if I had
in
to
the
pick something,
meantime, with your current,
I'd probably
fifth?
take. Honestly, I'd probably take the M&P 22 handgun. Just because I kind of like the 22 when, I mean, you can carry a ton of ammo. So
yeah.
Tons.
At the same time, though, like what we were talking about, if I need to use a gun, I'm using my rifle.
Well, absolutely.
The only time I'm using my pistol is if my rifle's not
Yeah, I would kind of like to have.
functioning at the time.
I would kind of like to have the 22 for just like that late in S.H.T.F. if you're getting low on ammo.
Yeah,
You know what
you
I mean?
got it.
If
Yeah.
you need to just pop some shots off or something, you know, you got
Yeah.
to whatever, or
Yeah.
teach somebody else how to shoot. You know, if
Yeah.
your wife or kid or whatever, you know,
Right.
give it to someone else. But let's get into ammo. We were talking about the 22 ammo, but let's get into. I know my keys out of my pocket. Let's get into ammo stockpiling. We don't have to go into detail on what you have or don't have, Ray. But what's your ideal scenario for ammo stockpiling?
Well, way
Ray,
to call me
I'll let
out.
you go first on this, Ray. I'll let you
Gotcha.
give your thoughts on this.
Well, my thoughts on it, the more the merrier. As Derek kind of indicated, I don't have much of an ammo stockpile at all. But you know, more is the merrier when it comes to ammo, especially when we're talking about shit hits the fan. You're not gonna have any kind of like You're not gonna be able to go down to the Walmart or go down to the gun store before you hit the gun range up. So all you can get is pretty much what you the answer is to that one. There is no set number. Some people say like 5,000 rounds for your pistol and 10,000 for your main battle rifle and stuff like that. But I mean, if you can't, just get what you can afford. Kind of simple answer to it.
Keep stocking it and get as much as you can.
Right, by little, if that's what you have to do.
Now, your opinion. So, say you're starting from scratch. Should you stock up on a certain weapons ammo first? Should you just whatever's on sale, whatever's got the best deal going on? What do you think?
I would say if you're just starting out, so kind of how in the position I am, even though I'm not just starting out, kind of starting out in the sense of stockpiling ammo, I would say start stockpiling what you shoot the most. Right now I'm probably shooting more of my pistol, so I should be stockpiling more 9mm ammo just because I shoot it more, so I'm going to be going through rounds more. Then once I get 1,000 rounds of 9mm and a couple hundred set aside for training purposes, then I'll switch over to my 223 or 5.56, and then if I ever get that Ruger Alaskan, start stockpiling some 44 Magnum.
Right. Just kind of take it as it comes there.
Right.
What do you think, Adam? What's your opinion here?
I'm like a bag of mixed emotions when it comes to stockpiling ammo, because there's so many like completely different opinions that I agree with.
Right.
So I guess in a nutshell, the more the merrier, like Ray said. But your situation, but whenever you want like an actual like number, like this is how much you should have, I think it like all depends on your situation. Like, do you live in the city? Do you live in the country? Are you going to have more people with you? Is it just you? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and I don't even like, I don't know. I guess So like what I did was I just started setting goals. Like I want 1,000 of 9 and 1,000 of 5.56. Then when I got that, I was like, okay, I want 2,000 5.56. And then it just like small goals, so it kept going up. But my current opinion, and I bounce back and forth on this all the time, is in a shit hits the fan scenario, I'm trying to shoot my gun as little as possible because I don't want anybody to know that I have guns and ammo. So for somebody that's bugging in, you're staying in your house, you're not leaving, that's kind of like a more the merrier. How much can you afford and still live a normal life without spending all your money on ammo and
right,
broke and not being able to enjoy life? But if you are leaving your house, you have like a bug out location, I don't think you should have more than 1,000 rounds of your battle rifle, battle pistol with you because you're not going to be able to carry that with you. Especially like if you have to move on foot.
Right. Truck or vehicle.
Yeah, so
you can load it up, but yeah.
I'm kind of like all over the place with my opinion on it.
Yeah.
To throw out a nice round number, I think you should have 5,000 for your battle rifle, 2,500 for your pistol, and then 10,000 22 long rifle. I don't have a number on shotgun. I'm just gonna throw this out there off the top of my head. Mixture of slugs and buckshot and birdshot. I don't know how you wanted to do that, but
yeah,
those are kind of like my numbers. But then even at that, it all just depends on you and your situation. Because I stockpile ammo, but if S.H.T.F scenario happens, like I said, I'm not shooting my guns unless I have no choice at all. Like I'll try to escape before I shoot them because I don't want to give where I'm at away.
Drawing attention to yourself.
Yeah. So.
Right. Yeah, and I'm kind of on the lines of that, but the only thing that like bugs me because like obviously we kind of have an S.H.T.F location to go to bug out to. And realistically, I would like to keep ammo there, but it's hard for me to keep like an abundance of ammo there because then I think like, well, what if I can't make it there? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if something happens and I just can't get there for some reason?
Yeah, well, that's like what we were talking about a couple weeks ago when we were kind of talking about this, where I was like, if you have a bug out location, which we do, and I don't do this, all my ammo is at my house.
Right.
You should keep most of your ammo at the bug out location and then just around 1,000 rounds or so at your house.
Which makes sense.
You get to the location. But then, like you just said, what happens if you don't get there?
Right. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards maybe like a couple thousand at each.
Yeah.
Like a couple thousand at the house, couple thousand, like whatever you have, split it in half.
My scenario, my bug out location, nobody's there most of the time.
Right.
What happens if somebody breaks in and steals all my ammo? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, there's ways around that, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be nice to have a lot at both.
Yeah.
Since we're talking about that, bugging out versus bugging in, that's one thing. If you're, that you got to look at versus if you bug out or if you bug in. If you have a location, do you keep things there? What do you keep there? If you have nowhere to go, I mean, you got to have like especially if you live in a city like we do, man, you got to have like I mean, I almost want to say you got to have like a good defensive plan at the house. I mean, there's so many people around. It doesn't really matter what you stockpile. I mean,
and then if a scenario like that happens, we live in a major city.
Right.
Everybody's going to be freaking out. What are the chances that we can even get out whenever you really think about it,
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, you might have to lay low for a little while and then go to the bug out location. You're probably not going to be able to, unless you get tipped off somehow and you're ahead of the crowd.
Yeah.
You're probably going to be stuck. All the highways are going to be shut down.
Yeah, in which that's probably not happening. So
Right. Which it always depends what the S.H.T.F. situation is too, and you never know. So you try to generalize it, but
right.
the obvious items that I think everyone should have, obviously, I know we're mainly going to talk about guns and stuff, but in my opinion, not even just for S.H.T.F., but just for anything, tragic events, hurricanes, tornadoes, power outages, whatever. I mean, you got to have, especially if you have a family, you got to have food and water and first aid with you at the house or wherever. You got to have it. And then, yeah, for the firearms, like I said, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards like splitting it up, having some at both locations, just in case you can't get there. And then also having multiple routes to get to your location. Don't just count on cruising down the highway. That's probably not going to work.
Yeah.
It's something I wanted to get into. I wanted to talk about training, because I think not even just firearms training, but firearms training, first aid training, learning new skills. I think that stuff's also just as important. Recently, I've been learning to garden and stuff. I mean, you guys know that, garden, and I learned to hunt and stuff like that, because I feel like that stuff's important too.
Well, and all that's a learned skill.
Right.
That's not just something that
you can't just buy it.
Is instinctively in you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just going to know how to do that stuff.
But you know, from the outside looking in, if you've never done it, a lot of those things seem simple. Like, oh, I could do that if I had to.
Right.
But it's not that easy. It's really not.
And like I said, they're all learned skills. It's not something that you just
have to learn it.
Know how to do. So.
Right. Yeah, which is kind of like with the firearms as well. I mean, yeah, you might know how to shoot your gun. I mean, anybody can stand on a square range and fire at a paper target, but I think training is pretty important just to get something in your head that you'll draw back to in a situation. And I know one thing that you were talking about. Go ahead and talk about that the low budget training we were going to get into. You want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, so that was what was I was into ballistic radio on the way to do my AR-15 trade that I did this week, and the episode was like on low. I don't know if they called it low budget or just when you don't have the funds to, and something that we're going to start doing now that was recommended in the episode was to get a little group together and look at those training DVDs, whatever they are, whether they're the mag pool or whatever. And every time you meet in a group to do your training, whether it's once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks, whatever, each member of the group rotates being responsible for learning 2 or 3 drills and then teaching the rest of the group those 2 or 3 drills, and then you practice them, and then throughout the day, and then the next time you meet, somebody else is responsible for coming up with 2 or 3 drills, and then you always practice like 1 or 2 of the drills from last week again, like so you keep up on all the drills or whatever. So I don't know, I thought it was kind of cool, something that we're gonna do, and what I thought was like really interesting was the guy that was on there was a training instructor, and he said, whenever you come to one of my classes, I'm not training you. I'm providing you with information and drills for you to go train yourself. Right. You can't come to a class and be trained.
You got to still practice it. You still got to go do it.
I'm just giving you information.
Right.
You're paying me to provide you with information and show you a few drills, and your training is whenever you go back yourself and do that.
Right. You keep practicing on it.
Yeah. So. But
I like that. Yeah. And that's something I think we talked about. That's something we're going to try to get into and start doing. I think it's really cool, and especially because we talked about it, and it's like a lot of times you you know what to do. It's not that you don't know. You know how you're supposed to stand, how you're supposed to hold your gun, how you're supposed to breathe, and everything. But you're not always doing it, and you can't see yourself. So it's nice to have the designated person to watch over and be like, hey, tweak this or do this, or this is what you were probably doing wrong here. Or,
And I still think it's probably best if you can afford it. Go get professional training where he can watch you. He or she can watch you and say, you're messing this up. You're probably not going to get that whenever your buddy watches a DVD.
Yeah, but
2 or 3 drills. But if
you'll get some stuff out of it.
You'll improve from doing it. But
in between your classes.
Because
obviously everybody can afford to go.
I mean, let's be honest, they're expensive, man.
Yeah, they are.
It's expensive to go to a reputable place, pay $400 for 2 days of training. You also have to shoot 1,000 to 1,500 rounds.
Yeah.
That's another 300 to 450.
Yep.
So you're talking about close to $800-900 for a 2-day class. That's expensive.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that makes it nice. In between your classes, whether you do just a couple a year or whatever, and then in between them, do your training with your buddies or group or whatever you got.
Because even free training, ammo is not cheap. Even your free training you do with your buddies, you got to pay for the ammo, and that's not cheap.
Yeah, not cheap at all. Not cheap at all. See what else we got on the list here.
Here's something we could talk about, I guess, since we're kind of talking about ammo. How do we buy our ammo that we stockpile?
Okay.
I guess. That's kind of something that maybe somebody might have a question about. What's the best way to start stockpiling ammo?
I know the way I do it. I'll say the way I do it, which is probably different from some people, but I know how I want to do it. How I'd like to do it is just like buy a box or a couple boxes, every paycheck. But what I tend to end up doing is I won't buy ammo for a while, and then I'll just see a really good deal on bulk, either 500 or 1,000 rounds, and I'll just buy that. That's what I tend to do. I just wait for a really good price and then buy it in bulk.
Mm-hmm. What do you do, Red?
I would definitely say, kind of going back to our last episode, where I was talking about don't bitch about gun prices or prices at gun stores. Definitely buy online. Yeah. Unless you're looking for some kind of like hard to find caliber, nobody online has it. Then you walk into a gun store and they have it.
Or whatever.
Right. Like Kyle's, they had 22 ammo. Like right after Sandy Hook, nobody else had 22 ammo. So obviously buy your 22 ammo when you can find it or whatever. But definitely buy online. And how Derek was talking about wanting to buy a couple boxes per paycheck, but he ended up buying my bulk.
Yeah.
I would say wait until you can get like a free shipping discount. Like when you bought your Wolf Gold, you got free shipping from that one ammo place.
I think it was SG Ammo, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Just save up until you can find a free shipping deal, because I mean shipping's not cheap when you buy ammo online. It's like $15 starting out.
Heavy.
So it generally works out better if you buy it in bulk online, just because you're not paying that same shipping charge. Right.
It's cheaper. Yeah, you buy in bulk. And that's how I buy my ammo. I buy it by the case. So 1,000 rounds. That's how I buy it. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. If you're not good at saving money and you have to go buy a box at a time, or you just don't have the funds to buy a case, do what you got to do, but you're going to pay more for that. I mean, right now you can get a case of 9mm for $200. I got my last case of actually it was 223, the Wolf Gold, which is good ammo by the way. That was like $275 for brass cased ammo. So.
Yeah, and I know we haven't talked about it on here, but we made a video on it. Adam made a video on it. Steel versus brass. Yeah. Which I know it's not as big of a deal right now because brass is down, so you can get it pretty cheap now. But when it was highly inflated, I know I bought quite a bit of steel case.
Yeah, during that, I was buying nothing but steel case.
Yeah, 'cause it's
I
so
wasn't
much
buying
cheaper.
brass at all. Yeah.
Yep. And I know you guys think I'm crazy, but like I still have a lot of steel case, and I have my steel case on the back burner. That's stockpile ammo. That's if I ever needed it, it's there. Because when I'm training or doing a class or just out shooting or whatever, I would rather run the brass just because
More
I
reliable.
can.
Yeah.
And right, no need to run the steel. I look at the steel in my opinion as like that's like my if I need it. It's obviously it's gonna work. It's fine ammo, but
Yeah.
it's there if I need it. But if I have the choice, I'm gonna shoot the brass. I mean, and right now it's not that much of a difference. I've been ordering brass. It's not that much.
It's not that much more expensive now. Now a year ago it was
horrible.
a pretty big difference, but yeah. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with steel case ammo. I've shot a ton of it. I don't have any more because I shot it all up. But Ray would beg to differ.
He doesn't like steel. He's anti-steel.
I don't have a problem at all with steel case ammo.
The Blazer, not the Blazer brass. They have like their own aluminum case or whatever.
Yeah.
I love that stuff for my 9mm, but I mean, I've read all the. Well, I guess steel case is fine, but the one thing you gotta worry about is most steel cased ammo. It's a bimetal jacketed bullet, so you got your lead core. Then over that, you have a mild steel jacket, and then a copper jacket over that.
And they claim it rubs off when it goes down the barrel, and yeah.
And I think it was either SGA Ammo or Lucky Gunner.
Lucky Gunner.
They did a review.
Yeah.
It was Lucky Gunner. The bimetal jacketed bullet wore out their barrel, I think it was like 2,000 to 3,000 rounds quicker than just using copper jacketed.
Yeah.
So if you can find steel cased ammo that's solely copper jacketed, go ahead and run through it.
Right.
Because unless you get into lacquer coated wolf stuff, which I don't know if they even make that anymore, steel case is going to run fine through your gun. Like I said, you just got to worry about that bimetal jacketed wearing out your barrel a whole lot quicker.
And I actually just sold the AR that had all those steel case rounds shot down it, so
so you're good to go then.
So I'm good to go now.
Good to go.
Yeah.
See, that's kind of like why I shoot my brass now because I'm training with it and shooting it because it's just easier on the gun. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, in a S.H.T.F situation, it doesn't matter. So you got to use what you got to use.
Yeah.
That's
and
why.
Pretty much all AK ammo.
Yeah.
Pretty much is steel case.
Right. So that's I mean, it doesn't. Yeah. Not an issue.
Yeah, red jacket comes out with like a brass case. But another thing to worry about is steel case or aluminum cased ammo is not reloadable.
It's not.
You cannot reload that.
I don't have the means to do so, anyways. But.
Right, but maybe later on down the road, what if shit actually hits the fan,
right?
And you have all this stockpile of steel-cased ammo, and your next-door neighbor ends up being a reloader,
right?
And you shoot through like half your stock of steel-cased ammo, and he's like, "Hey, man, I'll reload that stuff for you."
Yeah.
But then he's like, "Well, I can't because it's not brass."
Realistically, though, I mean, you'd have to have a stockpile of the things to reload it. I mean.
Well, true.
Bullets and primers and powder.
In my opinion, and at least it used to be this way, I don't know what it is now, but you can pretty much buy steel case ammo for the price you can reload brass. It's not much.
It's not worth my time to reload it.
No, I mean, I'll just, instead of stocking up on the primers and stuff, I'll just buy some more steel case.
I mean, for a lot of people, it's worth it. They enjoy it. They save a little bit of money.
Yeah, it's not worth it to me.
Unless I'm like doing some like target shoot, like making my own target loads, for precision shooting, I'll just go buy some.
Other than that, I don't have time to do it. I mean, it's a lot easier for me to click buy now, you know what I mean? Click,
right.
Ship to the house versus sitting down there for hours reloading. I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, I was saying a lot of people enjoy it, and it saves them a a little bit of money.
It's like a hobby, Yeah,
and it's definitely, I mean, you can't refute that it's something good to have.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah. So we're not saying that that's like it's not a good thing. It definitely is, but
Definitely, and that's another one of those skills to learn because I don't know how to do it. So,
Yeah, me either.
and I'm not going to just be able to grab the stuff and do it right now. I mean, you got to learn it. So,
Yeah.
it's definitely a cool thing to learn and have.
Another thing you could say too is all the ammo or all the money you spent on buying your reloader, your dyes, your powder, your primers,
That could have
and
been
bullets and all that.
ammo. Yeah.
I mean, that's expensive stuff, and that's easily 1,000 to 2,000 rounds of ammo.
It's
you could have
hundreds.
bought.
It's hundreds of dollars to get.
Right.
Yeah.
You can definitely get cheaper sets.
But then it takes you
they probably
longer
won't last you as long.
right.
Yeah.
Longer and harder to reload it.
Like a good press is like $250.
Yeah. That's a case of 223 almost.
Right.
That's a case of Wolf Gold right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then you gotta buy everything else on top of that. So that's another
Right.
case of 223.
Yeah.
Would you quit playing with my revolver over there?
Is it loud?
he's just rubbing it in our face, ain't he?
Hey, it's a new toy, man. Oh, and I also ordered my lower for the 16-inch yesterday or the day before. So
You're sitting on one lower right now?
What'd you order?
I only have one lower. Yeah. So well, I just got another Palmetto lower. That's the freaking best bang for the buck.
Yeah.
But so that lower right there with the STR stock on it is actually going to go to the 16-inch. And then I got a Palmetto lower with a CTR stock and Magpul grip and trigger guard. That'll go on the 14.5. So
you did get the Magpul.
Yeah.
I talked about the B5, so.
I know, but I hate stock wobble on the receiver extension. And there's no friction lock on it, and I was watching videos and reviews, and a lot of people were saying that their
Got wobble.
B5 stock has wobble. So
Yeah, you're picky.
my CTR had zero wobble, the STR has zero wobble, so I bought another STR or I bought another CTR, and I went all black, so I'm gonna have two fully blacked out ARs.
CTR.
No,
I can paint that for you.
What's that?
So I can paint that for you.
Yeah. So no more FDE.
What's mine called? I can't think of it now.
You have the ALS?
ALS. Something like that. Yeah, that's right.
It's the STR stock with like battery compartments or something like that, right?
Yeah.
No, I got the light version. I don't have the battery compartment.
Okay, so you don't have the battery compartments on.
I got the AC. It's ACS, isn't it?
ACS, yeah, that's
I got the
what it is.
ACS-L. It's like the light one.
ALS stock.
ALS is the challenge, man.
The Lou Gehrig's disease.
But yeah. So I don't know. I wanted to get like I really like the cheek comb on that SCR stock. I really like it. You have the SCR stock too, don't you, Ray?
Yeah, I love it.
But I don't know.
I don't like anything else.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted like a lighter stock for the 14.5 inch because the 16-inch Bertha, she's got the quad rail. You know, she's a beefy chick. So I wanted to keep the 14.5 with the KMR. You know, low profile.
Understandable. Well, that's all I got. You guys got anything else you want to add before we sign off?
We talked about stockpiling and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I just still don't know what my answer is. I mean, so for myself right now it's 5,000 and 2,500, and then 10,000, 22. That's like my thing, but I don't know. Just like I said before, I don't think there really is a right answer. It's like whatever you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable with it, then
yeah. And it can always grow. I mean, you can start out with a small. I mean, that's kind of what I know I did.
We set small goals.
Right.
I didn't get a gun. I didn't get a gun and say I need 5,000 rounds for my AR.
Right.
I was like, I want 1,000 rounds, then 2,000 rounds.
And once you reach 1,000, right, then you bump it.
And then I sat on 3,000 for a little bit. I was cool with that, and then I just recently was like, okay, I need to get a little bit more. So.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, I guess that does it for us today, fellas.
All right.
I know we said we were going to
Oh yeah, let's talk about Costa real quick.
Oh, I'll talk about cosplay. Hey, we actually have a live viewer, man. We got a live viewer right now.
Yeah, that's our first live viewer.
We got our first live viewer.
Wait. Is it any of our moms?
I don't know. I can't see the viewer. I got the Q&A app up, so if you're
Well,
watching and you ask a question, throw it out there.
Let's talk about Costa real quick, though.
Go ahead and throw out the
video that's
all right. So let me say this first. If you haven't seen the Costa video, if you're watching this, you have not seen the Costa video, you have to see it. You just gotta watch it.
You gotta watch it.
So he's basically at an airsoft convention in Japan, and he's basically the world's first gun model, runway gun model, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's doing like his famous grip, and he's like pointing it out in the audience, and then he's like dropping to the ground. I don't know. It was pretty funny, but everybody's freaking out that he's like pointing a gun at everybody. So first of all, it was in Japan, and guns are illegal in Japan. So it wasn't a gun; it was an airsoft gun. And then people are even saying like he's not even credible anymore as an instructor. Like he just broke all of his rules, and it's like, come on, dude. The guy's allowed to have a little bit of fun. Did he look stupid? Yeah, he looked extremely stupid. But the guy's allowed to have some fun. He doesn't have to be serious all the time.
I'll say that if you watch the end of the video, when he gets done doing his thing, he's smiling. He's having a good time. He's loving it.
Yeah.
Another thing you got to remember is he's in Japan.
Yeah.
And they're weird. And
Weird. Weird.
If you look into that crowd,
We apologize to
everybody-
any Japanese viewers right now for Ray's statement.
I know. What if our one viewer is from Japan right now, Ray?
well, I'm sorry. But if you look out into that crowd, every single person has a camera, and they're watching his every single move.
Yeah.
They're loving it up. So, yeah, he looks stupid doing it, but like you said, he's having some fun. Everybody there was loving it up.
Yeah.
Nobody there in that crowd was like, oh my god, look at this dude. They were like, wow, this guy is cool.
I read somewhere that he was paid $40,000. I don't know if this is true or not, to like go over there and do all that. And people were saying like, oh, he's a sellout for money. Dude, if you're gonna pay me $40,000 to walk down a runway with a gun,
Yeah.
sign me up. I'm on my way. And
I would've did it for
you would do the
$400.
same thing. Yeah, yeah. Give me $400. I'll do it.
Pay the flight, and I'm down.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, people were just stupid on the internet, man. Like, everything has to be a big deal. Like,
Yeah. They got
And everybody making fun of him can't run the gun as good as Chris Costa can. I mean, just about everybody does some kind of variation of it.
Yeah.
But his stance, it works. And whether he developed it or not, who the hell knows?
Yeah.
But it works. And he's weird how he looks like a robot when he does it.
Yeah, he's
But it
very
works for him.
stiff.
He's robotic.
And
Yeah.
if you can't outshoot Chris Costa, you can't really say, "Oh my God, he still looks so stupid doing that."
And just so you
He's
know,
better than him.
Just so you know, you probably don't outshoot Chris Costa. So,
No, negative.
Yeah.
I think Jerry Michelet could. But that's about it.
Yeah. Well, Jerry Michelet is the man, but
He is the man.
I also think Haley could probably outshoot Chris Costa.
Yeah, there's probably tons of like Navy SEALs and people like that could, but
I'm sure there are a lot of people that can, but
they're not all online and be like, "Oh my God, look at this."
yeah.
Yep. Before we go, I wanted to say I know we said that we were going to announce when we were going live, and we had this scheduled. It's been scheduled for a few days, but I was a little worried about one of our panelists making it on. So I didn't want to post it.
What happened? Why didn't he make it?
No, not Jay. He didn't make it, but I was actually worried about you, sir. I was worried about you.
I got off work.
I know
Took my tie off.
I was thinking you were going to be feeling a little rough, and you were going to be like, nah. So
I was feeling a little rough, man. But
I thought you want to come home and take a nap, basically. But
I'm here, man.
I didn't want to announce it and then, let everybody down, because I know everybody would have been.
The show would have went on. The show would have went on.
Oh, I know. But we will do that. We're going to start doing that. for every episode. We're going to start letting everybody know when it's going live. Because I would like to have some live viewers. It's pretty cool, especially because they can ask questions and chime in on our conversation, which is really cool. But that's it for me. You guys got anything?
Nope.
All right. Well, until next time, hopefully we're putting out another one next week. So tune in. We don't have a topic yet, but we will have one. We will.
Hopefully.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Alrighty.
All right, fellas. Thanks everybody
Later.
for watching.